that he's a terrible, terrible singer. I don't think that's fun of fact, but I'll tell you something else about Sam. I've heard him perform, and this is not trying to be cheesy, but his words of poetry are so sweet. They're sweeter than milk. But you might redefine terrible singing after you hear a certain someone perform tonight. I'm not going to say who. Alright, take it away.
Hey guys. So just a heads up for all the spoken word poets tonight, make as much noise as you possibly can if you like anything you hear. This is called It Was a Tree. It was my first time meeting nursing home grandpa, or Gung as I called him. The old Gung was trapped inside of nursing home Gung and the wrinkles and the swelling that his medicine caused. Every so often, old Gung would burst out and let out his Buddha smile. But the rest of the time, nursing home Gung just sat and stared. My mom and I pushed his wheelchair through the nursing home grounds, hoping that old Gung might come out to join us. He always loved walks. On our walk with nursing home Gung, we passed prosthetic gardens, where grasses and trees and bushes were given life in places they were never meant to be. They were watered every morning, trimmed every afternoon, fertilized every week, but my mom and I knew these plants were going to die. They were meant to. But we kept walking, pushing, pretending that there was nothing strange about these living ornaments or the bracelet around Gung's wrist. We pushed and pushed until my mom stopped, dead in her tracks, wide-eyed, and pointed to a patch of dark soil surrounded by lush green grass. She turned to me. "Oh, Sam, no. There was a tree there yesterday." She was going to cry. "There was a tree there yesterday. It must have been there for years and years. It was so old. And now it's gone." Just like that, she was going to cry. But I couldn't see my mom cry, so I told her the truth. "Mom, this tree was ancient. It had roots digging 90 years into the soil. It did not go down without a fight. It was huge. It was loved by all. They won't forget it. They won't forget the tree that gave them shelter, that the children played in, the adults laid under. I'm sure they said goodbye." And can't you see, Mom? Can't you see that it was a tree? That it had branches reaching west to California, south to Florida, and north to Buffalo. It had limbs that stretched back to China and pulled its family across the ocean once it pulled down roots in American soil. Its broad leaves shielded its wife and children and many, many friends from the sun. It was thick and solid, stuck deeply into the ground. In times of revolution and uncertainty, it did not budge. Wisdom was written into its gnarled bark, as all those who found asylum under its branches knew. A world lived under its canopy. The grasses and the bushes and the animals bear the mark of the tree's life. It is not gone. Mom, I know you're not used to being alone, exposed to the sun. I saw the way that you cried when he died, the way you collapsed on the kitchen floor, looking up, wishing that his leaves were still there to shield you. But Mom, you are Gungung's seed. You may feel young and fragile, but look at how tall you stand. You are ready for the sun. I know it. I used to think that my seed was swept here by the winds, that the only traces I bore of my ancestors were the pieces of DNA that made the journey to the earth. I thought that I grew in isolation, that the forest under which I sprouted was history, and nothing more. But Gungung has been gone for 2 years, and my family still runs circles around the soil where he once grew. We can't help but brush up against the people that he once touched, and as we grow, our branches are beginning to trace his. Gungung, I barely knew you. How can I be your sapling? I know nothing of the Sichuan orange grove from which you came. How can I understand you? Understand us? How can I read the stories in your gnarled bark if you're no longer here? But the more I see of the world that once was yours, the more I realize you never really left.